just before we get started, a couple of disclaimers. I was reading online that there's a couple of mistakes in the table for the combat results. I don't know if it's intentional or if it's just that someone noticed it. I don't think it's been officially fixed. But apparently on the combat results table here, 4-4-1 and 5-1 are the wrong way round. So you're getting better results when it should be worse, and vice versa. Apparently the same with 6-1 and 7-1. So what I've done is I have just put markers here to reverse them on the table. So 4-1 is now 5-1, 5-1 is now 4-1, blah blah. Right, so got that out of the way. Another thing is the tables. I'm going to use a slightly modified table for airstrike and the US naval bombardment. Reason being that it makes it a bit easier, being quite honest. So you get higher values at the start of the game to lower the Japanese resistance level. So just a disclaimer, just in case you wonder why I'm suddenly getting maybe a bigger value, but it's really only that that's going to change in the rules. That is it. The rest is going to be normal. So on with some landing. Okay, almost everything's ready to go. The Japanese resistance level is at 400. Amtrak is at 6. 10 engineers. Nothing for the airstrikes and destroyer yet. And just quickly, when I won't be able to get everything in camera and make it all readable, but when I'm doing the landing, I'm going to be looking at this chart first to get me a column to look at on this table. So if I talk about column 2, it'll be this guy, column 3, this guy. Just so you know. Right, first thing we need to do though, before we do any landing, is to do some bombardment. So I need to get 1d6, check, and I need to roll on, I don't know if you'll be able to see the tables right enough, but I'll bring them in. I'm going to be using this one first. This is the US Naval Bombardment table, and again I'm going to go for this one with a mark beside it, this row, which as I say makes it a bit easier. So d6, we get 3. 3 gets me a deduction of 50. Lovely. So Japanese straight away, boom, drop to 350. Next one is the airstrike table. This one. And again, I'm going to use the one with the mark. Gets me a slightly higher value. 2. Which gets me 15. So the Japanese are now at what, 335? I believe 335, and last but not least there's an airstrike which will destroy some of the hexes on the pier on the map, which I'll show you next. So let's see, that goes on the airstrike table, but it is this bottom row here, and it's going to tell me how many hexes to destroy. 6, fantastic, because that will destroy all 3 hexes on the table, thanks to those scouts and snipers. They're jolly good people. Right, that is it for pre-landing stuff, so let's get landing people. Okay, landing stuff. This is the 3 hexes that we destroyed thanks to the scouts and snipers, which is good, helps in the landing phase. The rules tell you must put this unit here, this unit here, this unit here. This column I've added. You can add as many as you like or as few others as you like, but you must have those 3 in red 1, red 2, red 3. Not necessarily there, I could put these guys there, but they've got a better chance of surviving if they go there. Especially these guys. And the reason why I've put these guys here is the Amtrak is less checks on landing, and this red one is the hardest of the three to get landed. So, right, let's get some people going here. Let's have victim number 1 step up. Oh, I should add actually, I have put the airstrike and destroyers on the status track over there. Done. Okay, this guy. First of all, we need to look at red 1. Who can fire at red 1? Red 1 gets fired at by boxes that have a red 1, A or B. Now we've already bumped off all 3 A's, so that's a good result. So it's only 1s and B's. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So there's only 11 can fire at this guy, which still makes it column 3 on the tables I was showing you earlier. So it's still a pretty crap deal. Either way, there's no other way to look at it, it's a crap deal. So 4 on column 3 is, oh, and we don't get a dice modifier because we've destroyed all 3 of these guys. If there was one of them left, we would have to add 1, but 4 is a 4 and it's a nothing, so he's all good. He skips that box, goes to that box because he's Amtrak. So it's 5. 5 is a hit, so he is hit, but comes ashore. I'll put him there. Next guy, and that's why I put them there, because if I had put him here, he would have had to check 4 times and he'd have been lucky to make it. 1. So that's a 1 star. 1 star means that the HQ must take the hit. So HQ gets hit already. Last 3. 3 is a star. Star means the HQ gets disrupted. Good start for the HQ, and it's not even moved. And we'll stack them there. Rinse and repeat. 5. 5 is a 1 hit. So takes a hit. And 1 means that the HQ takes another hit, which means the HQ is out of the game until tomorrow. It can come back after the night phase on this day. So this guy comes ashore and we will put him in the same bundle. So that's that. That's red 1 done. And red 2. And these guys have to go through all 4 steps. But red 2 is only hit by A or B. There are no A's. So B's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's only 6. 6 that can fire on these guys. That means we're on column 2, which is an easier deal, as I say. It's slightly easier. If you can call being shot at easier. Let's see. 3 on column 2 is nothing. Next, 3 again on column 2 is nothing. And again 4, nothing. And lastly 2, which is a star. Star means that the HQ is disrupted. And the guy comes ashore. We'll put him there. Next guy, same again. Same column as well. Nothing's changed. He takes a hit. Oops, I'll do it over here out the way. 3 is nothing. 3 again is nothing. And 6 is definitely something. 1 star. 1 star means the HQ takes a hit. the HQs are really not very lucky. And put them in the same stack. Next guy. 5, definitely not lucky. He gets hit. 2 is a star, which means the HQ is disrupted, but it's already disrupted anyway. 6 is definitely not good news. That means the HQ is gone, and again can only come back tomorrow. HQs, absolute jinxes. If it was a boat, we'd be sunk. 4, nothing. So we will put them all in the same pile, same stack. And because I don't have any HQs, these guys are going to have to stay relatively close to the beach, because the beach hexes and the end of that pier is where they need to go for supplies and so on. So, okay, more of red 2. These guys get it again slightly easier because they Amtrak. Same result on the table, we're still in column 2. It would only change if any of these had been destroyed, which would be the next day kind of thing. 6, oh dear, 6 is not good. 6 is a 1 star, which means the HQ takes a hit. Now, I'm not sure whether you give it first to the regimental HQ or the battalion HQ, so I'm going to give it to the battalion HQ, but I'm not entirely fully sure of that rule. 1 is a star, so that HQ is disrupted anyway. Then we have a 3, which is disruption. He's already disrupted. Benefit of the doubt though, and I'll disrupt this guy, the regimental HQ. And last is a 3, nothing. So I shall put these guys here, I think. Next. 4, nothing. Oops, 1 is a star for a disruption. They're already both disrupted. 2, disruption again. And 5 is not such a good thing. 5 is a hit. And again, I'll keep these guys in the same pile. So, wait. I think I definitely goofed there, because that guy should have skipped 2 and went to 3 then landed. So nope, I'm taking the hit off him. I'm in charge. The guy actually survived better than he should have. Whoops, whoops, that's a 5. Get in here, get in camera. It's a 5. And 5 is a hit. And he skips to there, like the other guy should have. And oops, 4. 4 is no effect. So he comes ashore. Lovely. Right. Completely unlucky HQ. See if he can survive. 4, no effect. 6, 1 star. Good night. See you tomorrow. It's the end of that idea. Oops. And the regimental HQ, which if it makes it will be useless anyway. 4, no effect. And 6, 1 star. So it is hit, and it has 2 steps, so it does actually make it ashore. But the units have to go through the battalion HQ, which is deceased, to get to the regimental HQ. So that guy's useless. Right, on to red 3. Right, red 3. Red 3. Get these guys landed, and again, Amtrak, so they'll skip. Right, people who can shoot at red 3 are anything with a red 3 or an A, and the A's are gone. So the 3's are here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. So it's also in or rolling on column 2. Which is a 2, which is a star. So HQ is disrupted. Jumps down. 3 is no effect. So we will put him here. This guy. Oops, 3, no effect. 2 is disruption, but he's already disrupted. So he's in. 6 is not so good. That's a 1 star, so the HQ takes a hit. 1 is a star, disrupted already, so he's ashore. HQ, let's see. See if we can get 1 ashore. Nope, I don't think so. Nope, nope. That's a 1, so HQ is a goner. So we have no HQs whatsoever. None made it ashore, apart from the regimental HQ, which, as I say, is pretty useless on its own. Right, anyway, that's the end of the landing phase. So I then need to roll on the amphibious tractor loss table, which I don't know if you'll see. Actually, it's this one. This is a modified version of the one that's in the book. The one that's in the book, you roll 2d6 and it's this giant table, but the person on Board Game Geek has whittled it down to this, which gives the exact same results. So we're going to go with this one. So a 3. We have a 3, which means that we have 1 loss on the Amtrak, which takes it from 6 to 5, which makes absolutely no difference whatsoever because we only have 5 squares anyway. So that is us done for the landing phase. Time for the ground phase. Right. Okay, we're on the ground phase. Ground phase is kind of unusual in this game in that you can do as much movement and combat as you like in a turn. There's no limit. It's up to you. There are certain triggers in the game though that will cause you to stop, and then you must give up on that ground phase. Things like certain results for the Japanese attacks and so on. Right, our guys, we're going to have these guys, I think, should attack this fort here. Now, the way it works is this. They have a strength of 2, they have a multiplier on the resistance track of 4, so that gives them 8. We have a 3, 3, 6, and 4 is 10. We have a 10. That pretty much makes it 1-to-1 on the table. So let's see what the Japanese get. 6. 6 is 1. So we have to take 1 hit. So one of our guys has got to take a hit. So this guy that's a 3 can become a 2. Because the Japanese have to fire first because of this seawall hex. I should have mentioned that at the start. Otherwise we wouldn't get the damage until the end. So now we go from 10 to 9. Because these are infantry, we've got a multiplier here of 4. So 9 times 4, 36. 36 divided by the fort strength of 2 will be 18, I believe. So that would be 18 to 1. But obviously you can't get 18 to 1, so you get 10 to 1 instead. So we roll on 10 to 1. Let's see. We have a good chance of destroy. Oh. It's not the result I wanted. Not at all. 11 does mean we destroy it. So we do destroy that fort. Because it's a D result, we get to take the 2, multiplied by 2 is 4, and we deduct that from the resistance level. But, unfortunately, because we rolled in this red area, that now triggers a Japanese tactical impulse, which means that it comes back, the whole thing comes back to bite us. Surprise, surprise. Didn't see that coming, did you? No. Right, the way Japanese tactical impulse is, there's another table, and we have to roll on this table up here. I'm not sure if you'll see it in shot, probably not. But that is going to tell us what's going to happen after we destroy that fort. The next thing that's going to happen is going to be on this table, which is number 5. Let me see, number 5. We're over 300 in the resistance track, so it's M. So we need to roll on this column to see what is going to befall us. And that is 9. Nothing. If the star just means if we had a tank, it would take a hit. So, nothing. Whew. Okay. Thank goodness for that. Now, the only thing is, it may end the ground phase for these guys. I'll double check on that. But, that was relatively okay. We got away relatively unscathed there. So, let's move on to the next bunch of guys. Right. Let's go for this scenario. These guys against this guy. Okay. Same idea. Because of the seawall hex, Japanese get to fire first. So, they are 3 times, and we're still on a multiplier of 4. So they're 12. We have, whoops, oh, why do I always drop these? That must have been 4 minus 1. Couldn't have been a 2. I don't remember a 2 appearing. So we have 3 plus 3 plus 4 is 10. Again, that's pretty much going to be 1 to 1 on the columns here for the combat results. They're 12, we're 10. So yeah, and you round it down. So it's going to be 1 to 1. Again, Japanese fire first and we take the damage. They get 10, which is nothing. Excellent. That's what we like. So we have, let's do our side now. US side is going to be 10 multiplied by the 4 is 40. 40 divided by 3, well over 10 to 1. So we are 10 to 1. Right. Let's see. High chance of destroying this guy. 7. 7 is D. So yep, he's destroyed. He's a goner. So because it's a D, we get 2 times 3 is 6 from the Japanese resistance track. So let me see, 6, so that goes to there, that comes down, that goes up to 5. Ah, so much arithmetic. Right, that is that one done, I think. I was unsure about the R's, the D's with regards to the Japanese impulse attacks, but it only stops these guys if the Japanese get an R or a D result. Then they can't move or do anything. So these guys are still okay, they can move and do stuff. Same with these guys. Regimental HQ can't attack anything, so that's a no-go. So the next one we're going to go these guys against this guy. It's going to be a similar idea. Seawall Hex, Japanese fire first, 3 times 4 is 12, and I think it's going to be 12 against 12. 12, yep, 12 against 12, whoops, still managed to drop stuff. Ah, dear oh dear. There we go, 12 against 12. So definitely spot on 1-to-1. Japanese get 6, which is 1. So we have to take 1 hit. So just put that there and put these guys on top. Whoa, whoa, where did that one come from? Whoa, whoa, hang on. Wouldn't really affect the results any, it would still be a 1-to-1 ratio. So that is a bit unexpected. That just kind of fell out from nowhere. Right, so it means that we have 10 left. So 10 times 40, again divided by 3, 10-to-1 on the combat results. Let's see. 10. 10 is a D. Again, destroyed, and we get to deduct 6 from Japanese resistance track. So that's a 5, that goes to a 9. So Japanese now at 319. Need to get that below 300 so that I can drop their modifier. Right, that's that done. I should also have said that after a combat you can advance. So I'm going to advance these other guys because I completely forgot about it. And it is a legit move at the time, right enough, but there we go. Right, okay, let's see who's next. Okay, next we'll go for this guy against, maybe against this guy. Let's see, we'll get 4, 8, 12, right, okay. Now, you may not see it on the camera, but this hex does not have seawall there. So there's no Japanese fire advantage in this one. So we just do America against Japan, Japan against America, then apply the results. Right, let's see. America first, we'll go 12. We've got 12 times 4, 48. 48 divided by 4 takes us back to 12. So it's 12-to-1. But again, 10-to-1's the highest. 10-to-1 it is. Let's see. 4. 4 destroyed. So we get to destroy that, and we get to take 8 off Japanese track. Now, before they're destroyed though, they still get to fire back because it's a simultaneous attack thing. So 4 times 4 is 16, and we have 12, so again it's going to be 1-to-1. Poor Japanese are not having any luck. They have a 5, yep, no effect, so they have absolutely no luck. So that's another one destroyed, and yes, we will advance. Thank you. Lovely. Right. Everybody's moved, or everybody's landed, everybody's done combat, they've moved after the one. Now, if we want, we can do the exact same again. We can just keep going and going and going with these guys if we want. So these guys can move to here. Now normally, I'm just going to double check this, but normally when you move into a space like here, any of these blank spaces or on the airfield, I believe you have to check for a Japanese impulse. Let's see. In fact, we'll check the other one just to be on the safe side. Let's see, ground phase. I know that you have to check when you move into certainly a blank, but I believe when I decide to call the end of turn, we do a check for a Japanese impulse. So let's see, ground phase. Japanese impulse is triggered when we get the 11 or 12. Night turns, no thank you. Combat. Okay. I don't see the bit here, but oh, here we go. Japanese tactical impulses. Impulses are triggered at the end of a ground segment. If triggered by combat, which would be the Japanese, US tactical coordination, which we can't do because we don't have the HQs. So, yep. We certainly do roll at the end of the ground phase, but we're still in the ground phase. Right. When we move into these things here, as Palm Woods, it does not trigger a Japanese tactical impulse check, so that's good. So we are going to move to here, and we don't have to do any checks. Lovely. We can't move anywhere from here because we would have to attack these guys. Similar idea here, but we could move to here. So if we move to an airfield, that would be as clear, and the clear would mean we have to make a tactical impulse check. And if there is anybody in there, the Japanese get to fire on us straight away. Now the only problem is, if we attack, no, we can still attack this guy. I was thinking up here. Right, so we can move to here, but we would have to check and see if anything attacks us on this Japanese tactical table. Failing that, we have to attack some of these guys. This guy could move down, or we could attack these guys. So, what will we do? I'm reckoning that probably we go for the easy targets. So there's a couple of 2s here, a couple of 2s there, a 2 there. So we can, unless something goes horribly wrong, he says, completely jinxed himself, we should be able to take out the guys that are 2s. Should be able to do that no problem. So we will see if we can take out, let's see, we will try and take out this fellow here. That will stop this guy firing on red 1. So let's go for this guy here. We're going to do us against this guy. So let's see what we're doing here. There's no bonus for who's firing first, unless we bring in, you know, engineers or something, or some attack, but nope. So we'll just calculate what we've got first. We've got a 2, a 3 is 5, and a 4 is 9. So we've got 9. 9 times 4 is 36. 36 divided by 2, well over 10 to 1, so we're on 10 to 1. We have 8. 8 is destroyed. So this guy is going to be destroyed, and we get to subtract 4. So we drop it up to there. Okay, so we're getting there. We're getting towards getting below 300. That's what I want. They still get to fire back. So 2 times 4 is 8. 8 to our 9 is still 1 to 1. Let's see. 6. 1. So we have to take a hit. So that guy who's a 3 becomes a 2. So he becomes a 2. They are now destroyed. All is good. Now we can advance to there, but I think we will stay there because we can still attack that 3, and there's 2 2s that we can go for. Ideally we want to take this guy or this guy. In fact, we will move because taking out these 2 guys is more important to make this landing easier. Right, okay, we've got that done. Let's do some more. Let's do some more attacks. I'm feeling lucky. Right, let's see. Let's go for this guy. Going for, we should really go for this guy to get rid of him. But I am thinking a 2 because it's nice and easy, but we're going to have to go for the 4. We're going to say our guys here is going to go for this 4 because we really need to get rid of these guys that have the red numbers to make landing easier for the next group that come in. Right, let's see what we got. There's no advantage to anybody for firing, so we have, this guy's a 3, it's another 3, it's 6, and 4 is 10, so we have 10. So we have 40 against 4, which is 10, which would make us 10 to 1. So 10 to 1, again, good chance of destroying the guy. 10. 10 gets us D. So yep, we managed to destroy the guy. Destroy the guy, and we get to take 8 off the Japanese resistance level. That then takes it to below 300, which now it's at 307. So that takes it to 298, I believe. Was it? 289. 299. There we go. I can do arithmetic, honest. It's just when it gets to this whole thing with the sliders with the 50s and 10s, and very confusing. Right, so they've got 16 against our 10. That's still 1-1 because we round down. Right, Japanese get 10, nothing. Fantastic. Right, so that's another one less for the Japanese. Lovely. Now, do we advance? I think so, so that we can take out this guy, and that'll make red 1 an easier target for, or an easier place for landing. So we are going to move to here. Right, let's see. This guy's going to attack this guy. Again, this is another B that affects the landing of red 1 and red 2. So we're going to go for that. Now, we have a 3, a 3 and a 4, so we have another 10. So again, it's going to take us up to 10-1. And we have an 11. And 11 is not good. 11 means that we have destroyed it, but it also means we have triggered. I can't find a D for destruction now. Come on, there we go. But it does mean that we've triggered a Japanese impulse, I think, which is obviously very bad. I'm just going to double check it to be absolutely sure. Yep. Yep, afraid so. So we've got to do the other end first of the combat, which is 3 times 4 is 12. 12 against our 10 is 1-1. And the Japanese get 8, which is nothing. Brilliant. Except that they get to attack us anyway. Okay. Right. So, Japanese tactical table. Thankfully, we are below 300, so we get to a slightly, very slightly better deal. 11. 11 on the table says A. Oh no. A. Let's see. A is going to be some sort of assault, if I remember rightly. Ah, come on. I was trying to get an easier time with this. Where are we? Japanese tactical impulse. Me and my big mouth again. An assault. Place 1 Japanese infantry unit in the US stack. Ah, nuts. This is not part of the plan, people. It's not part of the plan. Right, that means I need to actually get a Japanese infantry unit now. Out of the bag. Here we are. 1 Japanese infantry unit. And he goes, oops, on top of us. The problem is, if he wins, he stays there and we go. Right, assault. Roll 1d6. If we get a 1 on this dice, we have to add a Japanese tank to this attack, this assault. Thank God for that. So we resolve 1 round of combat and the Japanese get the first fire advantage. Right, okay. So, if the Japanese lose any steps, and their unit is a 3, which, yeah, 3 flips to a 1, we get to reduce the Japanese resistance level by 2 times the amount of steps they lose Now, if the impulse was triggered by combat or movement and the US did not suffer an R or D result, the surviving units may continue the ground segment. So we can probably still move, but we still got to resolve a fight between these guys. So I'm going to put them there at the moment. Just they're going to go in there. So we are 10, 40, 40 divided by their 3, so we're still 10 to 1. So we're still 10 to 1 on the chart. So we want these guys destroyed, so hopefully we can do it. Hopefully we can do it. Let me just check the book to make sure that it's not a different type of roll or anything on the combat table, just to be sure. Nope, we just continue as normal, but they get first fire advantage. So the Japanese, 3 times 4 is 12, 12 against our 10 is a 1 to 1. The Japanese get 6, which is a 1 hit. Ah, boo. So our 4 at the bottom there, he can become a 2, sorry, a 3 can become a 2. And I'll take that off. So we are down to a 2 plus a 3, 5 and 4 is 9. So we're down to 9 for this for this combat. And 9 times 4 is 36. 36 divided by their 3. So yep, we're still 10 to 1. 10 to 1, and we get a 10, which is a D. Let me just check what a D means against a unit. D against the Japanese unit, they lose 2 steps and retreat. If they cannot retreat, they lose a 3rd step. Well, they're in there. The only place they could retreat to is that beach hex. And either way they lose 2 steps. So they're down to a 1. Now, it also says here in the book, remove surviving Japanese units. So, retreat or not, the guy comes back off the map. Not quite sure why, but that's what it says in the book. So, that was rather tricky. That was rather tricky. After saying, oh, I should get an easy deal here, I get an assault. That's just great. Right. We can either advance or we can stay where we are and try and attack this guy next. I think I'll stay and go for this guy next maybe. Or in fact I could just move and I would have either one. Yeah, I'll stay there. Stay there, maybe attack this guy next. Right. These guys here, what we're going to do with these guys? I would say they have to attack this guy. Again, cut down the red numbers, make landing easier. That's the plan. No attacking advantage to the Japanese, and we have a full 12. So we'll go first. 12 times 4 is 48 divided by 3. Again, 10 to 1 for us. There's a 6. It's an R. So we destroy it, but we don't get any bonus. Oh, wait. Speaking of bonuses, I was meant to remove 2 times Japanese step losses. So that's 4. I nearly forgot. Okay, done. Right, so we destroyed it and we reduce normally by 6, we get our result. Nope, no bonus. 3 times the Japanese level is now 3, so it's 9. 9 against our 12, again 1 to 1. And the Japanese get a 10, which is nothing. Excellent. So they're destroyed and we get no damage. Lovely. And we are definitely going to advance to try and take out another hex there. Right, rather than keep going forever and ever and ever and ever, I think I will call that the end of our ground phase. Because, as I say, we could try and just empty this whole island using these guys, but it would be a kind of boring video, let's be quite honest. Okay, so after the ground phase part of things, we go into a recovery phase, and we then check any HQs, whether they're regimental or not, to see if we can get them out of disruption, like this guy. And if we manage to roll a 1 or a 2, this guy comes back to life. Well, I'll be. So this guy is now back to life, no longer disrupted. And we have what? We have no other markers to remove. The airstrikes, we didn't use any anyway, and we didn't do any landing stuff. We did the amphibious tractor loss thing where it came down 1, so that's done. So I will now officially declare this 1200 hours on November the 20th, and we can now set up another ground phase if we wanted. So I don't know if we want to do another ground phase. I don't think in fact we don't get to do another landing phase. I don't think. I'm going to have to double check that. We may get to do another landing phase, but I'm going to double check, so I'm going to end this video here, check the rules to make sure I don't completely balls it up, and possibly we'll have more troops to bring in next time. So I shall see you for the next video, whenever it may be.